Hello, well, welcome to my channel. Today I have for you this tutorial. It is super simple. It is a very light wash of this eyeshadow, which is from the eyeshadow palette Iluvsarahii X Colourpop. This one is the one that's right here, which is the most neutral one. Very universal for transition color. So I only use this one. I actually used 3 of these of this palette. I was actually expecting to branch out, but I really wanted to use this lipstick, which is called Mamacita, and it is superb. It actually has a lot of purple undertone. So I love vampy looks, and I love to just, you know, have this hair just snatched and just have really contoured skin. Very simple eye makeup, great lashes, and a very dark lip. So this is actually what it's about, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm using this primer by Smashbox. This one is a photo primer, and I'm going to press this especially on the sides of my nose and then spreading it out around my face to fill in those pores. Then I'm using the Shade Tape Concealer by Tarte. This one is in the shade Tan, and I'm going with this concealer first before my foundation because of its orangey undertone. It helps with my cover my dark circles. As you can tell, there's a huge difference now. The dark circles are gone, and I'm using this E45 brush by Morphe to blend it out. Then I'm going over top with the Beauty Blender just to blend out any harsh edges on the sides. I'm using this liquid highlighter, which is a collaboration from Temptu and Boxycharm. I'm using this basically on the high points of my cheeks, also on the bridge of my nose, basically wherever I'm going to apply the powder highlighter. I want this under my foundation. The foundation I'm going to be using is not too thick, so it actually shines through the foundation because later on, after I blend it out with my Beauty Blender, I'm going to go with my Makeup Forever HD foundation in the shade 127, and then I'm blending this out with my Beauty Blender. I didn't want to put the entire clip where I'm blending and blending because I think you get the point. And then I'm going in with another Shape Tape Concealer. This one is in the shade Medium. This one is basically prepping my eyelid for the eyeshadow that I'm going to be applying on my eyelid. And I'm using the same brush, the E45 by Morphe, to blend this out and making sure that everything is well blended, that is not so cakey. And then I'm going to be picking up the Iluvsarahii X Colourpop eyeshadow palette, Chic-y. This one is in the shade Distressed, and it's a matte eyeshadow. I'm using this Morphe brush to kind of pack on a little bit of that eyeshadow, and then I'm going in with this Mally Fluffy brush, picking up this transition shade, which is called Freckles. I'm going to be concentrating most of the product on the outer corner of my eye, and then with the same brush, I'm going to be dragging it into the inner corner of my eye, back and forth, windshield wiper motions, and also some circular motions on the outer corner of my eye as well, just to make sure I have a very light wash of this transition shade. To conceal and highlight my face, I'm using the same Shape Tape Concealer by Tarte in the shade Medium. I'm using the Beauty Blender to blend out most of the concealer, and then I'm going in again with the same brush by Morphe, the E45, just to be a little more precise right under my eye, just for it not to be looking so cakey, and just also being careful with my eyeshadow as well. Then I'm going to be setting this with the Banana Powder by Ofra. Using a Morphe brush, I'm going to be packing this on just to make sure that concealer does not crease. I'm also using the e.l.f. pencil brush, and I'm going to be smoking out my lower lash, and also I'm going to be connecting it with whatever I did on my eyelid as well. Then I'm going to pick up the darkest eyeshadow from this eyeshadow palette, which is called Noche, and I'm going to be using a definer brush to use it as a little bit of a liner. Then I'm using a little bit of mascara. This one is by Tarte. And to contour my skin, I'm using this LA Girl concealer. This one is in the shade Toast, and I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender just to blend out everything and mainly concentrating it in the hollows of my cheeks, also by my hairline, which is super important, especially if you want to close down a little bit your forehead, and also in my jawline as well, which is crucial in my makeup routine. I also applied a little bit under my bottom lip just to kind of plump it up a little bit or give that illusion. And I'm doing all this with a beauty blender. You can do it with a brush, but the beauty blender in this case was a lot more helpful. Next, I'm using this Coastal Scents palette that I also received in my Boxycharm, and I'm using the contour side of it, and I am just setting that same concealer I used for contouring. I'm using also their blush because this is a blush and contouring palette as well, so I'm using just the pinky one to put in the apples of my cheeks. Then I'm using this lipstick that comes in the collection from Iluvsarahii X Colourpop. I forgot to put some highlighter on my Cupid's bow, so I went ahead and I did that before going in with the matte lipstick, liquid lipstick. This one is in the shade Mamacita, and this is the darkest one that she has in this collection. I am in love with it. So, but I do suggest you guys to go in with the lip liner first, fill in your entire lips, and then going in with the liquid lipstick. To finish off my eyes, I'm using Vivacious just in the inner corner of my eye and just a tiny bit on the tip of my nose. Then I'm using the e.l.f. highlighter Moonlight Pearls to highlight my face just to finish this look as well on the brow bone and also a little bit on my chin. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.